Oh, do you usually take this?
I don't care. It is a non-struggle. All right. It is started. All right, then. If we can have the stream. Oh, crap. If we could have the stream or the game casted to us. Can't see the cast. Can't see the game. Yeah. Anyway, stream issues aside, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Saginaw Valley State University Esports. We have week 5 of competition. We got Overwatch 2 team going up tonight against St. Peter's University. First map shall be Oasis, the control point map of the set. The series should be a good time.
Looks like we have the typical SVSU lineup with Viddy, Pure, Joe Biden Pog, Zippy, and Nemo. Nemo, the tank goat.
The goat.
That's that indeed. Looks like St. Peter's has running out with Hunter, Sova, Jeffy, Ricardo, and
that seems like a good lineup. Sova might be in the wrong game.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah. Just making sure this is Overwatch, not Valorant. I'm sure they know. Should be fine. Although it'd be funny if they played Hanzo. That's all I'm saying. If they played Hanzo, you know what? That's funny.
They took away his recon dart.
That's no. He still got an Overwatch too.
Scattered.
He's got the recon.
Yep. He has the recon one now. So technically, he could cosplay Sova.
He's kind of yeah. They're both
budget cool. Sova in a way.
Budget Sova. Nah. Hanzo can make a big dragon laser beam. Nah, Sova's Sova does that too.
Sova has 3 of those.
Who's impersonating who?
I feel like it would be Sova because Sova doesn't actually use his bow.
I'm on a whole spiral already. First map here, Oasis. This is the University, I believe, or is this the Gardens?
I believe this is the Gardens on this map.
University Gardens. All the Oasis maps kind of have or at least 2 of them have a relatively open site with kind of a pillar in the middle to play around, so it can favor close range. You can get some long range on all of the 3.
Actually, I think this is University.
Is it? I'm not quite sure.
I do.
We'll see.
We'll have to see the outside.
We'll see. But definitely can favor a bunch of different strategies. Definitely a diverse map pool or diverse character pool that can be played on this map. We'll see right off the bat. Viddy on the Zen got the Tracer, got the ball, got the Brigitte. Couldn't quite see the other damage there.
I believe the other damage might be
right into it here. Tracer and the ball, both those high mobility. Oh, Sombra as well. A bunch of high mobility, bit of a dive comp here. Can jump in the back line, but as that said, Cassidy for St. Peter's getting in the back line of SVSU, taking out 2. Should be a tough spot for SV at this point in time. Joe Biden, Pog, Sombra waiting around, trying to find an opportunity, going for the hack and trying to get the pick onto the Baptiste. Will be a tough spot with the rest of the team to support it. We'll have to get out, and that'll be the control point for St. Peter's.
St. Peter's has pretty decent lineup here with the Orisa, McCree, or Cassidy, my bad. I can't see who their healers are just quite at the moment.
But, should be interesting. Both teams now on the Orisa. Got the mirror match here. The ball wasn't quite working out for SV that first fight. And adapting on the fly, switching over to the Orisa. I don't believe any other changes as of now. Nemo getting in there, creating a lot of space for his team. St. Peter's pushed all the way back, chasing down this Lucio, trying to find it. Gets the spear, gets the kill. That'll be the first pick. And SV almost managing to cap the point while St. Peter's was busy with Nemo's Orisa. They only have to stay on it for a little bit longer. Or St. Peter's only has to get off for a second before it switches over.
Looks like Ana has the nano here. Might be looking for the Orisa on the high ground.
That's probably not a bad option there. Making Orisa even more of an unkillable death machine.
Here with the double kill on the Tracer ult.
That's not something you see that often. The Pulse Bomb, you get the ult much quicker than other ults. The ult charge rate is very fast, but it's really only intended to get 1. You know, you throw the bomb, it sticks on one target and then blows up. Usually it's only them. So getting 2 is always a huge bonus.
That or it is used to create space off of certain objectives such as pushcart.
Very true. Very true. Good combo ult with Zarya's grab.
Yes, that indeed.
Nemo's Orisa all coming out, get a lot of damage right off the bat, but St. Peter's investing their own Orisa ult, gets both the healers in the backline while SV takes out St. Peter's. Should be Battle of the Orisas here. Joe Biden Pog is left alive to help out. Nemo will win the battle there versus Sova.
Looks like
Sova.
Anna still has that nano up, so they might be able to retake the point if St. Peter's is able to cap this point here.
Should be interesting. I'm not... Joe Biden Pog did seem to invest EMP at some point there. Didn't quite see it happen. For the other team, St. Peter's should have probably Cassidy ult. The second here, don't believe we've seen that invested. Should be interesting. Should have Sound Beat, I'd imagine, on their Lucio. Something like that. Should be a couple of ults invested in this fight from them. We're looking to see for that. Joe Biden Pog trying to get some pressure in the backline right off the start. Trying to team up with the Tracer there.
St. Peter's looks like they're taking the high ground advantage here, dropping onto the SVSU team here.
We'll see Reaper and Orisa in SVSU's backline trying to make something happen, but Nemo's there to stop them. Ricardo does find one onto Joe Biden Pog and finds another onto Pure. SVSU down 2 members right now. Be a little bit of a tough spot. Going to have to try and... Yep, Orisa comes in, the rest of their team. Huge purple anti-nade from Pure there, but doesn't quite... not enough follow-up from the rest of the team, because, you know, they're all dead. So...
St. Peter's currently in control of the point here.
We'll see. As you can see, this is kind of a King of the Hill style, as you know, both teams have to fight over a central point and control that space for as long as possible. That's kind of game mode. Good shot from Sova there. I'm Joe Biden Pog
capturing the point here.
We'll see there. If they get off the point, this just you can capture. Joe Biden Pog does go down 9% of his ult.
I'm still holding on to the nano here.
Oh, but St. Peter's losing their tank. Vidi with the charge shot gets the kill there. That's really tough. The tank is really the anchor, the important part of the team. That's really what it comes down to. That's just the most important. Losing your tank's horrible. Although, as I said, that Nemo was down. Time ticks over. Someone's got to get onto point here. Can't keep the overtime going. Bunch of ults there. Not quite finding it. Very close match, though. Should be interesting. These team comps
seem to be pretty similar.
It's interesting. Both have the mirror tank. Orisa just wants to brawl, right? Orisa wants to kind of just sit in one spot, shoot, and not die.
Both have the mirror Ana too.
They do have the Ana. The support line's kind of doing something similar. Ana Lucio versus Ana Zen. But in terms of DPS, you have Sombra Tracer, which is very fast, very mobile, wants to get in the back line, versus Reaper McCree, Reaper Cassidy. Now, I think usually they had the ball at the start. Saginaw Valley had the Wrecking Ball, which was a dive tank. You would go in, dive with your Sombra and Tracer, and now that it's on Orisa, I'm not quite sure why they were still sticking on that. They had dive DPS and a brawling tank. Didn't quite mesh as well as St. Peter's brawl tank and brawl DPS. They matched up there, so we'll see what the change is.
Seen a Pharah come out here from St. Peter's. It's
definitely a big open area. Huge lines of sight for that Pharah, can shoot from afar. SVSU does have the Cassidy to take that out of the sky. There, as you see, Pierre finds the kill onto Sellout. Ricardo taking a few of his own, though. Pretty close fight here on the point. We got this. Oh, switching over to the big gravity man himself. Wants to stay at range. Sigma definitely not Orisa.
Looks like we switched to the Kiriko off of the Ana here too.
Trading a lot of damage. Pierre's low. It's just him left, I think. Finding some headshots. Although Kiriko is alive.
Vidi's still there.
Pierre and Vidi both finding 2, and they're on the point. I mean, St. Peter's has yet to cap. They definitely can't co-attack this tank all by their own lonesome. Oh, but here's the Mei. Oh no.
Ooh, that freeze.
Sigma can't absorb that damage. And they actually seem to be making this work. St. Peter's, a couple of them sticking around, trying to stall for as long as possible. But Saginaw Valley will start off with the point.
Ooh.
That wall. Oh, it's so toxic.
Unfortunate.
It's so toxic. I love it.
That Mei pick is also very good here with all that open area. It does provide some cover and also cut off a lot of access points for the St. Peter's team.
It's interesting because you got this big open high ground, and most of the point is open, but you do have that little room in the center, which is still the objective. You can still stall from in there. So it's kind of this weird balance of you can make close range work, but also long range has advantages for the most part. But I don't know, it's interesting. St. Peter's switching back to the Orisa here. Joe Biden Pog finding one off the start. Oh, the wall, that's huge. That's the big Mei play. Cut the team in half, and then divide and conquer kind of thing. Oh, down goes Sellout. What a sleep dart there from Pure. Cool stuff. Joe Biden Pog forced to use the icicle. Vidi helping out.
Looks like sometime Pure used Cassidy ult there.
probably a good zoning ult. It's not an ult that usually gets kills quite often because you got to charge up the skulls to shoot to one-shot somebody. So most of the time a team can get out of the way, but it does force them to move.
Yes.
It's potentially one of the best ults for forcing a team out of an area. The Cassidy ult, the
Looks
Deadeye
like we
ult.
switched to the ball here.
Lots of tank switching, not as often because tank is really that's the core of what your team does. If you're a dive, if you have a dive tank, you're a dive team. So all this switching, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued with it.
I think with all this high ground, the ball offers a lot of util as it can come out of the sky and stomp down. As SVSU has major control of the point as of right now, I don't see the ball being really needed. They more or less need the SVSU to hold that point there.
That's fair. To be fair, ball does have the ability to spin to win around that central point. There is that.
Does.
There's that. Zippy just chilling with Pierre on the high ground. Oh, there goes the Bastion ult. Should get a lot of damage up there. Nemo stalling out as the time ticks over. St. Peter's has got 0% right now. They'll have a lot to get done here.
Ball is stuck.
Nemo trying to push up, staying on ball, but getting body blocked. Takes a lot of damage, has to get out. Kiriko, Vidi manages to save him, but at the cost of his own life. Nemo's still alive, but without too much to do. Doesn't do a lot of damage on his own. Really just sets up the rest of his team. Probably have to get out.
St. Peter's just capping the point now.
Looks like probably a switch back to the Orisa. We'll see.
They do need that Orisa to get. Oh,
I guess he was just going for the healing. In. Probably just for the healing then, because your spawn room heals you a lot. Let's see. SVSU grouped up ready for another engage. There goes the ball. Again, that's what he does. Gets in the back line and causes a distraction so the rest of the team can get some stuff done. Are sitting on a few ults here. Zippy's got the nano. We also saw, the dive onto high ground. There's the ball. Gets taken out early. A lot of damage right at the start. We'll see. Pure finds a couple. Ricardo answers back. Rez comes through. SV will probably have to get out here. Just the healers left alive.
So SV have to regroup for another push here, as they do have a lot of ultimates coming up here, which can be used to take back the point.
Zippy almost getting taken out there. Not a lot of health left.
Javelin came in from across the map.
We'll see. The Mei ult, definitely a zone controller, as well as with Pure ult. SVSU will have the ability to hold that space and really deny it. Really deny the other team from having it. We'll see. St. Peter's might be in a tough spot. They might not be able to hold this.
They could combo it as using the Mei to force them out of an area and then have McCree or Cassidy just ult and try and see if they can't pick anybody off by forcing them out of certain areas.
We'll see. It does go. Oh, it gets stunned. Did it come out? I'm not quite sure. It didn't come out.
Nope.
It got stunned out. That's crazy. Rest of the team is scrambling, trying to find something. Doesn't quite have it. Zippy will have to run out again. Time ticks above 80. SSU will have to scramble to get together a team fight here.
One of the DPSs might switch off into Tracer just to get on that point here.
All right, time ticks up to 90. They got to get something.
Yep.
They do still have a couple of ults left. Although I don't think I've seen too terribly many coming out from St. Peter's. So it should be a relatively big ult fight. Everything coming out. We see the double Kiriko ult. Both teams have it. Going in to save Nemo. A lot of damage. The Orisa ult to cause a lot of space and get some damage on the board. Pure finds one with the ult. We'll see 4-5 or 5-4. Saginaw Valley favored. Probably will go down one. 5-3. They're up a lot. They're up in space, up in pressure.
SVSU is capping the point now.
See a whole lot of damage coming out here. They don't have the tank, I don't believe, anymore. Overtime ticks over and SVSU takes it. We'll go to the third part of the control point. Best 2 out of 3. It's kind of a mini best 2 out of 3, you know.
Yeah.
Within the
gets their
game.
own best 2 out of 3 in the best 2 out of 3.
In the 3 out of 5 Overwatch game. Good stuff here. Both teams, I think, doing a pretty good, solid job of adapting to each other, especially in the tank line. We've seen Nemo switch back and forth. Orisa ball. Depending on the situation, depending on the ults, it seems depending on a number of things.
SVSU is favoring that dive comp though, as they're setting up the ball here for this third attack point, along with the Tracer, and then also the Junkrat coming out.
Not something I particularly expected to see, especially after the recent nerfs. Junkrat is a little less consistent now. Doesn't quite have as much damage. The one shot is a lot harder. They nerfed how effective the mine is at comboing. So we'll see. It still does a lot of damage. This is the only control point that doesn't have a big pillar in the middle for the teams to fight around. Definitely a more open area, especially with the high ground on the side. There's a little pit in the middle you can escape to, but yeah, then you're out of the fight for like 10-15 seconds. So
I do see the value in this Junkrat, as there are a lot of walls here that you can bounce things off of to hit them at unexpected angles.
That room is basically off limits. That is the bomb zone. You cannot go in that room anymore. Junkrat has full control of that area. You can see just spamming out, making sure that St. Peter's can't get in there. Although that is not the room, that is the objective. The objective is not not there. That's not the room.
Have to exit that room for the objective.
Oh, Nemo finding a few here with the Junkrat trap, finishing it off. That's crazy. They were definitely down at that point in time, but Nemo, Nemo.
The poor Baptiste.
He was just trying to jump, it. Poor guy. Now, there is again, this high ground on the side that ends up being extremely important, especially for a character like Cassidy that can just sit up there and get shots off and duck behind the cover when needed. They can't get up to him. So,
was gonna say
definitely a power position.
I do see where SVSU is going with this, as having the Junkrat just hold down that room by himself without putting himself in danger while the rest of the team take the high ground. So, really splits the attention of St. Peter's here.
I definitely like the strategy. It forces them to only push 2 out of the 3 areas. They really can't push that area of the map. Vidi managing to save Nemo at least for a little bit, but it will eventually go down, as well as Vidi himself. That'll be up to SVSU to try to get out of that situation as fast as possible.
That's not
the Orisa.
Place.
That's crazy.
That is unfortunate.
Silva finds 2 at the end there. Well, do have the Junkrat ultimate. Probably a couple other ults online for Saginaw Valley.
At least can force him out of the area with that Junkrat ultimate.
The common combo for ults is the Nano Boost plus the Cassidy ult, because it'll make the skulls lock on faster, so you really can't escape that quickly. That Nano boosting the Cassidy ult, that actually gets a lot of kills. That's crazy. Both Orisas spinning at each other. Maybe not get anything. Pierre was stuck in the corner there. Tough stuff. Lots of kills coming out on both sides.
Ooh, Joe Biden with the double kill here.
See Nemo having to push out a little bit. Tough spot.
Jafari taking it back on Joe Biden.
Close on both sides there. A couple of ults invested. We saw the Junkrat tire and the Orisa ult for St. Peter's. A bit of a trade, and St. Peter's comes out on top. Time ticks up to about 60% here.
SVSU just need to get on this point here now at this point, as they're very getting antsy here. They're going to have to start making forcing plays here. The Orisa ult is online, so they do have potential here with the Kiriko ult. Looking both to spin at each other.
The Beyblades going at it. Nemo's trying to get onto point here, but there's just too much going on. There goes the corpse. Pure finds 2 with the ults. Nemo finds 1. Won't be too terribly much left. The ult there.
Cassidy ult out of St. Peter's.
Doesn't find anything. Nemo spins to win right in front of his face. Does find 1 on the way out. Down goes Vidi. Somebody might have to go help him teleport back. Pretty much. That do be what Orisa be doing. Pure going back to that power position, that high ground that is so vital for a hit scan. See, interesting stuff. St. Peter's has been a little bit more hesitant to change. They kind of know what they do well and are sticking to it a little bit.
That Orisa there.
That's really fast. Zippy have to force out the nade early. Pure's in a really tough spot. Does get caught out there. See, kind of down a person. Might invest the Nano onto the Orisa just to hold the point. We'll see. Maybe looks like going for it. We'll see. You can see hovering. You can see him. You can see him thinking about it. The time does go towards St. Peter's in this. Up to 93.
Just forcing them off of it. They're not giving them a chance to get on it.
Saginaw Valley's got to touch the objective to trigger the overtime. Awesome. And as it ticks over, overtime is triggered. See, I believe Vidi in the background. That's what that was.
Is Vidi back there?
Yup, that was Vidi. And Nemo as well. Nemo was on the ball. Well, you can survive for a little bit longer here. Might be tough.
Tracer.
Ball goes on. Goes down. Overtime still ticking.
That Tracer is still coming up there.
Give him the Nano. Unfortunate for SV, not managing to find what they needed right at the end there. Couldn't win the team fights. Maybe both teams were a little bit hesitant to invest all of their ults, which, if you invest all of them, then you got nothing for the next fight. But they couldn't win a fight, so I think they had to just invest in using all the ults, get the point, get it ticking in their favor at least for a little bit, and accept the fact that they might lose the next round or the next team fight there. They just couldn't. They lost team fight after team fight after team fight, trickling their ults out one by one, not finding it. But a close match, both sides, obviously 2-1 in that control point. They're definitely close there, definitely close. Next map, if I'm not mistaken, should be Midtown, the hybrid map. Hybrid being, for the first little bit, the attackers have to take control of a point, kind of like the control point right there, but the defenders don't really gain anything from having it before the timer runs out. And then for the second half, they have to escort a payload across the map to a different area, which will move as long as the attackers are on it, and will not move if the defenders are on it. So get a little bit change in strategy. It's always interesting for a couple different types of modes that you could do. Obviously, in a control point when it's the king of the hill, something that can just sit on point and not die can be a lot more useful than something that has a lot more mobility. We saw the Orissas out there quite often on this map. That's what the game mode kind of entails. That's what it asks of you.
Looking at both the team comps here, they're running very similar team comps, just differing a little bit on the support aspect for both teams and maybe a different odd and end pick in the DPS, but relatively running the same comps. As you said before, they're trickling those ults. Unfortunately, with them running similar comps, whoever invests the one ult that might be the same that they have on the other just turns the tide. Unfortunately, SVSU lost that gamble.
Technical difficulty, our apologies. Let me come see. All right. Just a moment. I'll be right back. Just fixing a couple of the stream issues.
Yes. We do apologize for these technical difficulties as we're just getting some things sorted out here. Should be done relatively quick and we can get back on with the matches here.
All right. Wrong fixed.
Looks like we are entering the match for Midtown here now. Looking at it, looks like St. Peter's is on the attacking side while SVSU is here defending.
Definitely a different kind of map here. You can see some of the high grounds, some of the tighter corridors, definitely favoring a character like Junkrat that can shoot and just cover a small space really efficiently, like small rooms and stuff like that. You might see that down the hallway. Also, they're under the bridge. There is definitely a lot that you can see. We can see outside of the map here.
Getting a nice view of everything.
Yeah, see what's going on. This area is kind of where the main focus happens, and over towards this is where the attackers are trying to get to, past this little bridge and whatnot, trying to get there. We see Nemo going onto the tank, the classic Nemo tank.
Yep, the classic Reinhardt here. We do know that SVSU love to fight around that train right there with that Reinhardt, as it's such an enclosed space. He can get clean charges off while also hitting multiple people with those hammer strikes.
And the fire strike as well can just go right down the corridor. You can get a lot. Nemo, the Ryan main, the Ryan extraordinaire, I dare say, of Saginaw.
It is his favorite character so far, and by far, probably one of his best.
Absolutely. Similar comps in the sport line. We still got the Zenyatta and the Anna switching over to Hanzo and Sojourn though for the DPS line. Again, on defense, you don't really have to push forward, so you don't need high mobility. You can kind of just have a more chill character that just gets damage from range. But speaking of mobility, St. Peter's just exploding through the choke point here, going right for the objective. Nemo in a kind of rough spot, can't really get out there. This is an open spot. He can't really fight too terribly well here. Gets the pin, but that's not going to be too terribly much damage anymore after the nerfs. He doesn't have too much health left, trying his best, but will fall.
St. Peter's here playing a very aggressive game right from the start, onto that point within seconds here.
Viddy trying to do his best to keep everybody up, trying to keep the objective going. But what a shot from Zippy. That actually might be what they needed. Pure gets a lot of damage onto everybody, will fall, but that kind of leaves an opportunity. The tanks are coming back at the exact same time here. Nemo just trying to stall on point, using his shield, using all of his health to stay alive as long as possible.
St. Peter's get the point. Just capping the point here, yes. Now the cart will be spawning and they will be pushing this point here. They have to go through this multiple upper level area right here, as you can see.
Couple of crazy shots there, but St. Peter's caps that incredibly quickly. They have over 5 minutes on their clock to push this to the next part of the map. We'll see. Could be a little bit tough for them here.
Switching off that Zenyatta into the Lucio here for SVSU.
Ooh, close shots there. You're not finding anything. A couple of them going to the side here, investing the Mei ult onto the high ground, splitting up the team. Saginaw Valley's in a terrible spot here, dying one all split up one at a time.
That's what
What a
that
play.
May ult does there, as it makes SVSU kind of panic and has to send everybody away in order to not get frozen. And unfortunately, they are just too scattered and can't regroup in time.
Those who didn't quite see are a little bit newer to Overwatch. Oh, what a shot. Yeah, the May ult will freeze you if you stay in it for too long, so you got to get out of that bubble. But, man, Pure opening it up with a crazy headshot across the map. Hanzo can kill you in one shot if he hits you in the head. Very crazy. Nemo here getting swings, getting a whole bunch of damage, and down will go the tank. And down will go the team in general. SVSU firing right
Nemo
back.
with the 3 kills there.
Sheesh. Crazy.
No longer the tank, he is now the DPS.
We do now see the ults. Definitely at Saginaw favored here. Got a full extra ult right now. Little Lucio ult should be online pretty quick for St. Peter's. We'll see. We'll see. Again, Saginaw can just stay on the side ground.
Looks like St. Peter's here does also have their Orisa and that Death Blossom for the Reaper there, which can force them off of that position there.
Be tough. We see, oh, there's the Orisa ult invested. Should get a little bit of damage. Won't do too much. The Shatter comes through, but Nemo gets knocked off. The rest of the team has to clean up a little bit. Although far from out of the woods. Far from out of the woods. Still a couple of St. Peter's left alive.
Pure with another headshot onto the Cassidy.
Oh man, the sneaky play. Trying to find one as they regroup. Oh.
He's looking for it.
Nice shot from Pure lining up the headshot. That is the thing. Hanzo, like Widow, Ice Sniper, but instead of hit scan fires a projectile. But the projectile is very large. It's kind of, we joke about it being like a whole, like a log of a tree.
Yes.
It's that large. So he just fired at head level. You can finally find
Find some success.
He's just find kills. It's a little bit funny. A little bit funny. Not that he's no skill.
SVSU still holding on to 3 ults here. St. Peter's still has that Death Blossom just being used there to force them off the high point.
We'll probably see the Nano. Oh, we see with the Nemo, Ryan definitely can do a lot of damage already, but with the extra damage and the damage mitigation from the Nano, he becomes a menace. See, Grumpy Monkey's still holding on to the Sojourn ult here, as well as the Hanzo ult, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Hanzo was just used to force them off in that disengage.
Zippy does have the Sound Barrier to keep everybody alive, and Grumpy Monkey invests the Sojourn ult to make sure to clean up that team fight there. Oh! Grumpy!
Snipes!
Grumpy, what was that? What a shot. Absolutely crazy.
This SVSU lineup here with the DPS are very headshot lethal.
Pure?
Oh,
Pure, what are
sneaky.
you? Pure,
He's being a little sneaky.
What are you doing, Pure? They don't see him. Oh, no. No, Pure. You can't do this to him.
Oh, and Lucio spots
He
him.
gets spotted and taken out. Wait, oh, St.
Widow.
Peter's I didn't even see. Switches over to the Widow. Trying to be counter to Hanzo.
Looks like they are looking to counter this long-range DPS damage from both Sojourn and McCree here.
The Baptiste window on the high ground will give double damage and healing that goes through it. Not where you want to be. For Saginaw Valley, St. Peter's has the high ground and the Baptiste window up there. You definitely can't stand in an open field against that. Zippy, keeping Nemo alive.
Out.
Finds 2. Lots of damage. Pure cleaning stuff up. Although gets taken out on the way out. Saginaw Valley does win the team fight. Drops a couple, and Zippy will be chasing down that Widow. Oh, I didn't even see Ricardo. The Reaper's chilling there.
He was
Nemo
down
cleans it.
below in the shadows, where it's kind of hard to spot him.
It's definitely fits with his character. Definitely fits with the character. We'll see Nemo's a bit low. Healers both went down for Saginaw Valley. They'll have to walk back here. Ult economy definitely looking St. Peter's favored. A couple coming online for Saginaw in just a second, but if St. Peter's gets this fight started right off the bat and invests quickly, might be difficult.
They do have the Lucio bailout ult here for them.
Very true, very true. Stellant has that as well, so we'll see where that goes. Looks like Saginaw will choose to drop down and start fighting, getting Nemo in there to start getting some swings. We'll see a lot of damage coming through the Baptiste. Oh, the Lucio ult invested right off the bat here. Trying to get some stuff started.
Pure finding the...
Oh, Nemo. He's going. He's electric. There he goes.
There's that. I know.
So he might have to invest his ult here. We'll see Nemo getting in there. Let's go. Clean.
Shatter is up now for the Reinhardt.
Good change of pace there for St. Peter's. Depending on changing whether they go on the bridge, under the bridge, how fast they engage, what they engage with. They're doing a really good job of keeping Saginaw on their toes. You see, each fight looks unique from the last. Very good job from both teams adapting and trying to work around each other. We'll see the ult the Hanzo ult just trying to get some space and break up the team so that the fights can be taken a little bit more small groups at a time. We'll see Zippy does invest the sound barrier as he was low health. Oh, crowd controlling the Ramantra pick from St. Peter's as they try to stall it out. But that'll be the first part completed. So now the teams will switch. Saginaw Valley will be on the attack, and they only have to push it just as far as St. Peter's did, or just a tiny bit further.
Just have to get outside of that bridge right there.
Yep, just have to get that far. So we'll see. They will have to cap the first point, which sometimes easier said than done. We saw St. Peter's do it very quickly. But
they rushed out of that.
That doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen. You know, the way that at least the cart maps work is that they're usually divided into thirds, and every checkpoint you get some extra time to get to the next checkpoint, or for the last one to get to the end. And the way I heard it described by the Overwatch devs is the first third is really attacker-sided, the middle is sort of even, and the last third is defender-sided. So most games will end somewhere in the middle, but I rarely find that a team will get it to that last part. I'm kind of substituting the control point for the first third. Usually teams can get the control point, even if it takes them a while on Midtown, but getting it past under the bridge and around that corner, there's something about that is just extremely hard. I mean, I don't know, anecdotally, I see it every week here that Midtown gets played in the ECAC scene. It just seems to be a map that you get that control point, and then you get stuck around the bridge. Then you get stuck at the bridge. I rarely get to see the ending played. We'll see here. We'll see.
SVSU looks like they are going for the same comp that they were just running on defense, while St. Peter's here has the Sigma and the Ash differing from what SVSU is running.
See, definitely got the range, is kind of what we talked about. Again, defenders don't have to go anywhere. So they don't need mobility, they just need damage that can sit there and pump out bullets into the other team. So that is definitely what Ash, Cassidy, and Sigma can do. Stay in one spot and defend it. So we'll see. It's up to SVSU to take the initiative and get in there. That Ryan, once he gets in, is an absolute wrecking ball of a character. So hard to stop. Has the shield he can bring up to defend himself. And that hammer does so much damage. I think each swing is like 70, 80 damage, something like that. A lot of damage.
Just creating so much space there with the Ryan, just getting right in the face of that Sigma, which it's hard for him to block really anything from the Ryan here.
You can see Saginaw Valley gets on that point, and now they kind of get to play defense as St. Peter's has to push into them. They will get the little timer you can see on the top, that circle. That is how long it takes for them to capture the point. And if you get it in thirds, you can see you can capture like a little bit of it at a time. So Saginaw Valley does get that first third. So now they only have to capture it for the remaining 2/3.
Pure is looking for that cheeky little headshot there.
He might just find it. I'm not. St. Peter's just dancing around it. I don't know.
An unfortunate soul just steps a little too close to the left, you might find it.
We'll see. Nemo might create that opportunity. Not quite. And a grenade will have to get him out of there. When you can see that purple effect over the health bar, that character cannot receive healing. That is Anna's biotic grenade that does that, and it is brutal. You can't get healed for 3.5 seconds, and that is almost a death sentence. If you Ryan, you can throw up your shield and block the damage, but yeah. Kind of can invalidate.
And Shatter is up.
We'll see again with the nano going in, letting Nemo do his thing. I don't know if this shield can block it. I mean, Sigma can block it with his shield. It's a little bit tough.
Ooh.
Turns around, gets the... Oh, Shatter going in, just trying to stop the Sigma in his place. Get the damage. Oh, actually, Sigma ult, he had that whole time.
He held it.
Does find one, finds a few more. Both teams trading out here. Very close match. Lots of ults getting invested. I don't think St. Peter's will have have the characters left alive to get in there. Grumpy Monkey finds it. There we go.
But we do see SVSU did take a little bit longer to take that point there, so they do not have as much time as St. Peter's did to push that cart.
St. Peter's had about 5.5 minutes, and Saginaw only has about 4 and 15 seconds. So definitely still doable. We'll see. I believe their comp might be maybe a little bit better suited for it. You see Pierre switching over to the Reaper. Definitely something that can work with the Reinhardt pick. Get both of them to get in close and do a lot of damage. So we'll see. That's kind of their win condition. And for St. Peter's, the win condition is keep them out. Use the range and stop them before they get there.
Looks like St. Peter's is switching off of that Sigma and switching for the Orisa rather than that, as she has a lot more zoning potential than Sigma does into the Reinhardt.
That is Reinhardt. likes to get in there and brawl, and Orisa just doesn't die. Can just keep pestering, and not fall. Consistent damage on the Rhine. So definitely interesting. Definitely an interesting matchup.
SVSU is looking to take the high ground there, as they did take out Silva and Hunter there.
We see the Ashe ultimate, the Bob, keeping a little bit of space, trying to find it. Although, I mean, Saginaw Valley splitting up the team while the Reaper pushes. That'll mean that they're almost to the objective there. We do see the Death Blossom about to come online. Zippy's got the Lucio ult. Grumpy Monkey's got the Sojourn ult. A lot of ults here for Saginaw Valley. Almost all 5 of them, and pretty much none on the part of St. Peter's. They will have to back up, but again, they have the ult advantage. If they all just press Q at the same time, it can win. Nemo's in the backline with
Nemo's
the nano.
nanoed.
I didn't even see. Going in and
in.
creating a whole bunch of space. The entire team for St. Peter's has to turn around and deal with this nanoed Reinhardt in the backline, while the rest of Saginaw Valley can just start shooting. Pierre gets the ult onto point. Payload's pushing. Almost there. Finds a few more. And that's, I believe, all the play that they needed.
Death Blossom was used at some point to force everybody off of that point.
Just that left.
Online.
Sheesh.
Oof.
Get him out of there. And Saginaw Valley will take map number 2. Be 1-1. Crazy close again. I mean,
always
we did just say that it's hard to get down that bridge. But some crazy plays from Saginaw Valley, splitting up the team and finding the win condition that they needed.
There's that nano play.
Nano is always fun. So Nano, you take less damage and you do more damage, right? So you become tankier and you become more of a threat. So there's a couple of characters that you want to put this on. Something like Reinhardt, which is already tanky, becomes even more tanky. So you basically can't kill him. And he can get very consistent. Yes. Doesn't have to aim. He just swings hammer.
Yep.
So that is just a consistent buff in damage. And does that 2-shot a squishy? Almost.
I believe, yep. Two hits from Ryan will usually decimate.
That's
almost
pretty close, if not. Most characters have 200 health in the game. That's what we refer to as like squishy, because they're much easier to kill than like the tanks or a couple of the DPS that have like 250. Yeah, that's a menace. Or something like Reaper can get very consistent damage.
Healing off of that damage too.
That's true. So you can do with a couple of things. Genji gets it a lot because with his ultimate, he can use his dash and 1 slash of his Dragon Blade to get a kill, which will reset the dash. Which you can then again dash and blade, dash blade. So that's always fun. But other than that, Nano Rhine is so terrifying. So terrifying. Yeah.
Does look like we are jumping onto Havana here.
Definitely different map. Yes. Definitely a very different map. This is the sniper map, pretty much.
Definitely a different push map too.
Very, very different kind of push. This is the hybrid, which we just saw had one kind of point to one objective to take, and then you push the cart. This is cart all the way through. So the attackers will start with the cart over there on their side, right outside their spawn. They have to push it all the way across the map, and what team can push it further gets the victory. It's the victory. Or if both teams make it all the way to the end, then they just run it again until one team doesn't. So
it's interesting going to see what they pull out here, as we do know SVSU does favor those long range, but St. Peter's here was looking to brawl a lot more with those little bit more mid-range characters, but they might switch off and try and match SVSU here.
The Ashe and Cassidy, definitely a potent mid to long range combo. I expect that we'll see at least 2, like Hanzo and Widow, across the teams. This is a Widow map. Super long sightlines, although we did see Pure on the Hanzo finding some crazy headshots. So they might just run the Hanzo, especially on defense. Especially, we'll see. I expect Sigma to get played by at least one of the teams. He's kind of the ranged tank. He just sits with his shield and throws his Ravitic orbs. What are they called? I'm not quite sure what they're called. The little orbs.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure what they're called. But
I do know SVSU does like to play with that Mei on this map, though. They do like to
forget about that.
They do like to cut off people with that Mei, because it's some very tight streets there, so you can cut off a lot of people from a whole bunch of support.
And the Mei is usually kind of a close range, but does have the long range icicles.
Yes,
I believe that's like 170 to the head, almost kills. So
you can't be throwing those icicles down the lane there.
Do see the Sigma coming out from both teams here. Baptiste as well also can get some solid range. What you see for Saginaw Valley, who will start off on the attack. We do see the Widow. We do see the Sojourn, also a kind of a pseudo sniper-y character. The Zenyatta, who Again, very ranged character. Anna is also ranged. Don't see her, but as well as we do see the Widow and Cassidy. Interesting. The Mercy's place in the meta is always interesting. Mercy's a very beginner friendly character, but at the top level, they figured out that if you just damage boost a DPS,
You tend to find a
it's
lot of help.
insane. What, like, certain characters that cannot one-shot can suddenly one-shot, and they shoot way faster than characters that, like Widow, it shoots very slowly. Like, she can one-shot to the head, but it's very slow. You put that on something like Ashe, who shoots way faster, is basically a Widow shooting at double speed with the damage boost from Mercy.
We can see SVSU here slowly pushing up, using those side little areas to dip in and out of that cover.
It's really tough. St. Peter's completely set up on the high ground here, just trying to use that advantage to get out the damage. We see two coming out for the Widow.
We can see that Mercy, who is just damage boosting, sticking onto that Widow just to get all those damage done onto this very open area for SVSU.
I mean, you might think, hey, if they, the defenders have to touch the payload to stop it. So why aren't they on the payload? Well, if you're on the high ground and you shoot everybody before the payload moves, then you don't need to contest it. Here, the Widow. Ooh, always one of my most enjoyable things to watch. The Widow 1v1 is always a test of skill. Definitely the Fox no items FD of Overwatch, I might just say. If I had to equate one thing, yeah.
Looks like SVSU is doing a little switcheroo here with the Kiriko rather than the Baptiste here, looking to find some different options for them.
Kiriko definitely can find no range fall off and can find a lot of damage if hitting headshots from range. We'll see how that works out here. Nemo trying to
finding another one.
As much pressure as possible. With Saginaw down one is kind of just a slow. Can they get anything? They can't really commit. Finding another.
Jafari is just insane on this Widow with that Mercy damage boost there.
Sheesh. That's crazy.
Definitely going to be a difficult match for SVSU here. I just have to find some way around Jafari's Widow.
They could try to go for a dive comp with something. Oh, as I say that.
There's the ball.
There's the ball. The ball can get in there and cause a whole lot of mayhem.
Oh no!
The snipers have to turn around and worry about it. Even if that play didn't quite work out, you saw St. Peter's is now backing up. They see the ball, they realize they can't stay on the high ground. Oh, gets taken out there.
Jafari is just
on it with the Widowmaker. Yes, absolutely on it.
He is heating up with this Widow pick.
I mean, we'll see. This is tough. Stanley's got to find something. They don't have any alts online. Whilst St. Peter's has
quite a few ults here.
4.5. I don't know. This is tough. It's not like Saginaw is playing bad at all. St. Peter's just doing a great job doing what they set out to do.
They have a clear goal with their comp here with that Widow, and that Widow is just doing so much damage.
They're getting what they wanted. Do see the Kiriko coming out for Saginaw Valley, trying to make a play here. The Baptiste window in response.
I do think Saginaw Valley here is just trying to get past that window area, because if they can just force it past that, it forces the Widow to change and might bring up different options for SVSU here.
We'll see. Nemo manages to get out here. Biddy staying alive, but oh man, so much damage coming out here for St. Peter's. It's a struggle to try to find what's going on. It's just St. Peter's doing what they're supposed to do, doing their job or what their comp does, and Saginaw Valley struggling to get in there. Grumpy Monkey does have the Sojourn ult.
St.
That
Peter's
can do something.
Has invested a lot of those ults there, so they are down a few ults. SVSU can be looking to make a play here, as they do have multiple ults coming up right now.
We'll see the Transcendence here online can save everybody, but it just heals really fast. Doesn't make you invincible, so you can still die to a Widow headshot, for example. Sova here taking out early. The Zen ult, nothing left to heal. He can just stall for a little bit. Maybe a little bit late on it even.
Oh, the Sigma
up in
ult
the air.
carries.
Rest of the team can shoot him down. That'll be Saginaw. Barely being able to push it past the corner even. That'll be a really tough hold for them.
St. Peter's did a fantastic job of actually accomplishing what they had out in mind there.
Overwatch 1 was a lot more quote-unquote guilty of this, or you simply pick the team comp and win. That was a big struggle of the game. And in 5v5, the way everything was balanced out, that was lessened. That was a note to be said about the game. Something that a lot of people enjoyed is you could play other team comps and you could play a little bit less as a group. You could go on a flank and take 1v1s, and it's a little bit more free, a little less team comp oriented. But you look at something like that. You look at something like that, and it's still there to an extent. Even if all the entire team for St. Peter's wasn't constantly in a tiny cluster that could be hit by a single Baptiste grenade, it's still all the heroes helped each other, at least in some part. They all complemented each other.
I do like this pick here, as we do see the May coming out for SVSU, and they have a clear goal in mind. If you have been watching SVSU, you do know what I am talking about here.
This is an absolute classic composition right here. We got the Rhine main tank. We got the Lucio speeding him around.
They're doing it.
If you don't know what's
If
going
you know
on,
what's going on.
If you know what's going on, when you crouch, they can't hear your footsteps.
I know.
We saw this last semester.
We have PTSD from last semester.
Saginaw Valley spawn camping for 7 minutes straight. Oh no!
Oh,
no, they're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready.
They did it!
Saginaw Valley cuts the team in half, leaving only 2 of them out there as they find kills.
Oh no!
Oh, that's so funny.
SVSU they have it, like I said, have a clear goal in mind.
Hey, they know they have to play incredibly here. Switching over to Bastion just to get out of here. He's just shooting. Can't be killed while he's in there.
They do know what they have here.
Crazy stuff. Finally getting in a little bit of trouble. SVSU has to use that shield, get out, play around the cart. They're not going to just try to let anything happen. They're not going to let this cart get pushed at all. That way, if they lose a team fight, they can still have enough time to get it pushed, to get back before it reaches the end. Even Hero trying his best, kind of pushed into a corner. Kills coming out here for St. Peter's. At this point, it's tough. Saginaw Valley only has 3 versus 5. Hard to stay alive in this scenario. They're going to stall as long as they can, but down goes the Rhine shield. Ramasha gets out a lot of damage onto Reinhardt. We see the Baptiste window.
Baptiste.
Will it find it? Not quite. Not quite. Swinging around, trying to find the Ramattra, trying to find kills. Almost finds it onto the Mercy, but down goes the entire Saginaw Valley team. This kind of was their goal, though. As you can see, the cart doesn't have to go very far, but it is far enough where Saginaw might be able to put together a regroup and get there in time.
Looks like they are switching off 2 different characters. Are switching to Kiriko here, and also the Reinhardt is still here.
Oh, there's just the May left and the Pharah Mercy up top. Saginaw doesn't really have much to deal with this outside of Ricardo. They might not be able to get into position in time. Lucio's so low. Does get taken out there.
Nemo
Saginaw
on the point, just trying
here.
to block them off. Comes the Ramattra ult.
Pierce got the Death Blossom, but it's not going to be enough as St. Peter's pushes it to the end here. Close match.
Match.
It's a tough spot.
It is
You
very
got to
tough.
hold for like 6-7 minutes with only losing 1 team fight, if that. So, yeah, not exactly
Here's
an easy position.
Jafari with the play of the game. Widow.
Some crazy headshots across the entire. Whew. Headshots. That is always one of my most favorite things to watch. I mean,
A Widow.
say what you want. It's just like, hey, there are other shooter games. Who just wants to see more shooter? I don't know. There's something so satisfying about Widowmaker to me. There's something so enjoyable about seeing a Widowmaker just get headshot, not miss anything. There's something extremely satisfying about it. And I gotta respect St. Peter's for it. That was some crazy Widow play. Almost not single-handedly, but definitely the star defender for that part of it.
He did
definitely
output
doing
a lot of
so
damage
much
for them, and also kept SVSU kind of scared as they had to play very safe around that open area. But unfortunately, that's where the cart is, so it puts SVSU in a tough spot there.
You gotta stay behind cover, but you gotta push the cart, and the cart's not really great cover because from the high ground position, most of St. Peter's can see over it, so tough spot.
That indeed. Now it looks like we are moving on to Colosso.
Coliseo.
Coliseo.
I don't know. I'm trying my best. Coliseo. I don't hate it. This is the what's it called?
This is
not
the
push.
I don't think it's push, but we have our friendly robot friend.
Friendly robot friend. What am I forgetting?
He loves to push the ball.
What is the word?
Is it push?
Push, yes.
Yes,
it is push. It is in fact push. The goal, there's a robot in the middle. Both teams have a barricade. Either team will try to use the robot to push the barricade further into the opponent's territory, and whoever gets their barricade pushed further wins.
Yep. So it's basically like there's two carts there for both teams, as they both have to push those push their barriers as far, like the previous game mode. They just have to push it as far or farther than the other team.
It is the new game mode Overwatch 2. Overwatch players still trying to figure it out a little bit. You'll see some interesting comps, especially on this map. I see lots of different comps run. You can see close range, long range, all kind of pens. There's this very long corridor that you'd think would favor long range, but there's also little nooks and crannies to duck behind as you get closer. So it's really weird. It's very interesting.
I do expect SVSU to probably run a dive comp of some sorts, maybe, as that is what they like to favor on this map typically. St. Peter's probably will run that mid-range Cassidy to the Ash maybe on this long range, because Ash does offer some close range engagements as that long range hallway offers for the nooks and crannies that they can get into.
I very much agree. I would expect to see Nemo playing Ryan at least for a little bit, and I'd expect the Widow probably to stay. I'd assume that's my
St.
prediction.
Peter's did find a lot of good stuff on that Mercy Widow, so we may see that again here.
We'll see. I don't know. This was the first push map added to the game. It kind of divisive. Not everybody likes it. I find it to be great. I find it to be a good time. I very rarely have a bad time on Coliseo. The only issue that some people have is once you push the bot really far, it's hard for the other team to push it to get their bot push. But hey, just don't lose.
Yeah,
just don't lose. Just imagine that if you do bad, you're gonna lose. Just don't do bad.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
It's difficult. Well, we will see. Have some interesting picks probably coming out here.
We'll see. Well, as the team gets settled here, we'll take a very quick break as they get into it. Just for a brief moment. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a moment.
Arriving at Coliseo. Initiating match.
Right on. There we go.
Getting
We are back.
into the match here. Got time ticking down as the game will, as I believe teams two ready? Yeah.
Yes. There's our friendly little robot.
I can't hear anything. There you go. Hold on, turn on my aimbot. Little friendly banter in the chat. Friendly banter.
We do see that Widow with the Mercy coming back out from St. Peter's here.
And on SVSU's chat side, we got similar comps. Nemo on the Rhine. Got the man. Names are rough tonight. Got Lucio, Kiriko, Hanzo for the ranged, and Joe Biden Pog on the Sombra for the up close and personal. So we'll see a little bit of mix of everything.
There is Nemo pushing up a little decent bit, trying to create space for his team.
See Pure trying to find kills onto that Widow there. That's dead. Oh, and we see Joe Biden as well. They know they have to shut that thing down early.
I do think that is why they did pick the Sombra here, because they did expect this Widow to come back out, so they do need something that can keep it occupied.
Even on a tough spot here, has to get bailed out a little bit by Vidi. On super low health as the Ramatra Reaper combo does a crazy amount of damage up close. See, Nemo goes in,
Nemo's
tries to
in.
find it, doesn't quite make it. That was the big hero play, tries to find it.
Zippy looking back to get back group with his team here.
As the bot gets pushed around the corner.
This is the dangerous spot, though, as they are pushing under that tunnel, so SVSU does have a lot of options on trying to engage on them.
They can choose to jump out at any point in time. That's a big reason why high ground is so important. You control the pace of the match. You can see Mercy trying to get the res, doesn't quite find it. As Joe Biden, Pong, and Nemo find one. Pure finds another. That'll be huge advantage. Just kind of clean up here for SVSU. Nemo's a little bit low, but he's not in too much stress. He has both of his healers behind him.
Bot pushing back towards the St. Peter's side.
Saginaw Valley firing right back. See switch over to the Farah for St. Peter's. Definitely not great for Nemo. Reinhardt cannot hit birds out of the sky. Sombra does a really good job of making the other team turn around and deal with her. Yes. Right? Sombra can go invisible and teleport out at will. So kind of just throws down her teleports, go invisible behind the team, and starts bothering the support so they can't heal the front line. Is kind of a big game plan there. Oh my gosh, what a shot. See the Ramatra ult invested here. That is not where you can't touch the payload anymore.
Yes.
That is a be gone.
It is a no you.
That thing is crazy.
Looks like SVSU is looking to regroup here while Joe Biden Pog is looking to lurk, maybe pick off one of the supports from St. Peter's here who get out of position.
The ult here, Joe Biden Pog, huge play potential here. The Sombra ult will take out a bunch of your health, and you can't use abilities for a little bit, as well as you're seeing through walls and whatnot. So if you get the whole team with the Sombra ult, they're pretty much dead. They're pretty much dead. Pure coming in here, trying to find kills in the backline onto the Kiriko. Kiriko ult invested. He does have the ultimate, finds it onto the Ramatra, does get the damage out. Huge plays from Saginaw Valley, still take it.
SVSU with the almost full team clear.
We'll see plenty of ults still in the bank for St. Peter's, though. Saginaw Valley might be able to get some progress here, but I don't expect them to be able to match the progress that St. Peter's has made.
St. Peter's does still have 3 major ults there for them to be able to be used, as they do cover a lot of area, which will deny SVSU a lot of space there.
We see Joe Biden Pog switching over to the Soldier, specifically for the ranged DPS that can hit the Farah out of the sky. Again, Farah's a really big problem because she's flying around. Big Hammerman cannot hit that. Nemo's in a tough spot until the Farah goes down, so that's what Soldier is swapped for. See the ult invested there. A couple of ults coming out for St. Peter's, and it will find plenty of kills there. As just cleanup here for St. Peter's. Saginaw Valley almost manages to push it, but not quite. Finally, Pure, the last one to go down.
Pure just looking to buy his team some time so they can all get back to the point and set up a nice defense against St. Peter's.
Vidi on the Ana can as well put some pressure on the Farah, but definitely not as much as the Soldier.
Soldiers there just going to be trying to hit scam the Farah out of the sky here along with the Mercy.
Caught up, back. St. Peter's back in it, ready to start pushing again. You can see the bot moves quickly in between the barriers, so you just kind of get it to your barrier and then push it as long as you can.
SVSU is charging quite a few ults as compared to St. Peter's, but St. Peter's does have that Ramatra ult coming up right here soon.
All they need is one kind of kill like that. Pure finds it onto Ricardo. That's 5v4 for Saginaw now.
Shatter is up for Nemo here. The Ramatra ult comes out.
Oh, I expect he might use it on the Ramatra. I'm not quite sure. Oh, the ult runs out.
No.
That's right.
He actually holds the Shatter here.
We'll see. He keeps up.
Oh.
Oh, unfortunate. Moves behind. The Ramattra doesn't get seen. Does not get shattered. Nevil's in a tough spot, surrounded by teammates. Tries to take the Ramattra out with, but the wall's in the way.
Now, this is a very dangerous spot for St. Peter's, as you do have to get behind them.
We'll see Pierre also switching over to some damage. Farah is causing too many problems. They have to switch both of their DPS to try to counter just this one. To be fair, the Farah as well. Farah can kind of glide around and fly around with the Farah, so that's why you see Farah and Mercy, such a potent combo. They can both fly. Farah, or Mercy can keep the Farah alive and whatnot. See, lots of damage. Nebo finds the kill, but not before Jeffrey finds two. Rez comes through. Ricardo finds one. Pretty much just Pure left alive. Viddy's nowhere really to be found. You almost never see this map played to completion. It's almost always the timer. That'd be crazy if St. Peter's manages to push the bot all the way to the end.
We do see it around that bridge area is usually where the bots both stop for both sides of the team. So this is very interesting to see how St. Peter's pushes it past there.
Ults on both sides. We've got the Nano Reinhardt is into the Kiriko ult. That's going to be a lot of damage from both sides. Nevil's trying to find some. Zippy gets the resident appear. It's pretty much a 4v4 at this point in time, but without a tank, it's really hard for St. Peter's to stay on. Joe Biden Pog invests the soldier ult. The aim bot on lock. Finds one onto Mercy, chasing down St. Peter's, pushing them out of there. Mantra getting pressured from range. That soldier is just such consistent mid to long range poke. That is what he does. He simply gets damage. The aimbot is absolutely brutal. If you're playing Farah and you hear soldier use ult, just run.
Yep. Cannot fly away from aimbot.
Saginaw Valley pushing it back through the halfway, getting it through this tunnel as St. Peter's re-engages. A little bit of pressure from behind. Got Ryan Shatter still up here. We'll see if it gets used. I'm not quite sure. Hear it going off in the back line as the rest of the team gets pressured. Saginaw Valley getting hit from all sides here. The Ramattra ult to clean everything up. Few left alive. Viddy finds two in the midst. He's still alive.
Battle Lana here.
Trying to find it. Taken out by the Hunter.
St. Peter's looking to push the bot towards that final stretch right there, as they are still stuck right outside of it.
Switching over to Widow as well. Just full countering this far. Everything in their power trying to find it. Joe Biden Pog just needs one shot to take the far out of the sky. We'll see. Nemo rolling out that Ramattra. Both trying to find some kind of advantage.
Joe Biden hitting the Reaper here. Not quite the target he wants, but he's still looking for that far in the sky there.
Couple of ults on both sides here. They'll probably all get popped at the same time. I don't know who's going to win this team fight. We've seen a bunch of Ramattra ults coming out. We've already seen like 4 Kiriko ult Nano coming out for Saginaw Valley. Ults being invested. Who's going to win? Joe Biden finds one off the bat. Nemo finds another. 5-3. Cleaning up. Nemo finds another. Only 2 left. Ricardo does find one. 4-2. Saginaw favored. Pure finds another. 1 left alive. Probably made it out. Actually, no, just 1 on point.
We did see Nemo. He was still holding that shatter, so he does have it for the next team fight, along with the Cassidy and Mercy ult.
Widow ult comes online as well. Just Viddy without an ult. That'll be plenty enough to win a team fight, though.
Yes.
Probably see the Widow ult popped relatively early here. Just get some sights, get to see where everyone is. In the last team fight, you saw the Pharmacy get a lot of damage from behind. Pretty much won the team fight with a flank. So, switched over to the Ashe. Finally, the Pharah goes away after both DPS countering.
Here with the pick. Oh, there comes a shatter from Nemo.
Finds a lot of damage. That'll be a whole bunch of pressure for SVSU.
The Ramattra is slept here.
A whole bunch of damage comes out. Ramatra's in a terrible spot. Has to back up. Does find the kill. Again, when your tank goes down, pretty much a loss for that team fight.
It is very hard to defend the bot while your tank is down.
As I say that, Jeffrey finds the kill onto Joe Biden Pog. I don't know if Rez is still online. Ricardo's going into the back line
with Death Blossom.
The ult. We'll see sneaky play. Now Saginaw's on surrounded on all sides here.
Saginaw is catching on to that behind the play, so they are looking to back out of here just very slowly, trying to keep this game in it.
Try not to let the bot get pushed too far. When you lose the team fight, the bot gets pushed all the way, pretty much to the other side. That can be a big reason why swings happen or just the game can be so snowbally.
Bob finds the kill onto Pierre. Zippy with the revive onto Pierre, so he will be back in this fight.
Ryan coming out with the pin, trying to find it. Nemo in the backline. That's not what you want. Saginaw Valley just in a scramble situation, trying to find something here. Pierre taking a lot of damage. Might be able to find a kill up top. It'll be a little bit tough. Reaper, no Wraith form, has to get out.
This is what I was saying at this specific point in the map. St. Peter's has so many options to get in with the Ramacha ult coming out here, trying to just force them off that bot, trying to tick the time down with 18 seconds left.
So much pressure coming out from both teams here. Really tough. Nemo gets taken out. Down goes the rest of Saginaw Valley. 10 seconds left on the clock. They will not have enough time to touch the objective and trigger an overtime. That should be St. Peter's with the victory. Just getting off the bot, giving even less of a chance. The timer ticks down. That'll be a victory for St. Peter's, taking it 3-1 versus Saginaw Valley. Tough game, close game.
Very close.
Plays from both sides. Both had some crazy shots. We saw some clips coming out from both. But as you can see, even with the play of the game, this Pharah was instrumental in Saginaw Valley's downfall in the end here. With hit scans being so common in Overwatch 2, you don't see Pharah as much because some of the best heroes counter her so hard. So I guess they just weren't ready. You know, you don't see Pharah coming out very often. So when a good Pharah comes out that is ready to deal with hit scans and ready to play around cover,
players tend to find
brutal.
a difficult time with that.
Yeah.
They aren't used to it, as many of the solo queue ladders for Overwatch 2 don't see it coming out there because it's more individual. So
it's more of a niche thing. So we'll see. Close game both sides. We saw
very close.
We saw some crazy things. Jeffrey? Is that
Jafari, I believe.
Jafari.
Crazy Widow plays along with that. Instrumental Pharah coming out in that final match right there in Coliseo.
Saw the Sova as well. I saw the Nemo normally doesn't struggle. Nemo doesn't struggle too terribly much in the tank. Usually Nemo is the one pushing the enemy tank back and doing it.
He's the one causing a lot of pressure to most enemy teams.
Seeing the tanks really butt heads there and kind of cancel each other out. That's not normally what Saginaw sees. Saginaw usually has the Nemo to fall back on to do some stuff.
A very even matchup for both sides of the teams, because we did see they did play very similar comps, just maybe switching something around, finding something that works different for each of the different teams, and we did see that coming out in almost all the matches.
That's a huge thing in Overwatch. Something like Pharah's up in the sky, moves around very slowly, so can't really be hit by a hammer, but definitely going to be hit by a sniper. So it's it's a little bit of rock, paper, scissors. Both teams trying to, one team switches to rock, the other team tries to switch to paper, just for the other team to switch to scissors. It's a little bit like that. Although no matter what you play, you can always outplay and find victory versus any comp. It just comes down to player skill. Just one team will have an advantage. And it looks like St. Peter's both had a couple of star plays throughout that, as well as had a few out picks, out rock paper scissors, I guess, out rock paper scissors, Saginaw a couple times. So we'll see. That'll be all for tonight, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming down to week 5 so far. We have one more game left in the week now, League of Legends on Friday. Thursday's a break for the players. Thank you to anybody from St. Peter's who came in the stream. Very much appreciate you guys. GG's. Very good match. And thank you to any Saginaw Valley students or anybody else watching. We very much appreciate you. And anybody into the student life out there, very much appreciate everybody coming down. Everybody have a good night. This has been Aquatic and my casting partner out here.
I am Kaiser. I do play on the League of Legends team here.
Hey, do this little plug in.
Yes, little League of Legends plug here for our team.
Fenmark is what the tag is what I'm being told.
Well,
what I'm being told.
That is my Discord name. I have yet to change it to my actual in-game name.
There you go. Well, anybody, thank you. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for coming down. Very much appreciate you. See you for more Saginaw Valley State University esports on Friday. Everybody have a very good night.